Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and I am in Phoenix. I am shooting a film. It's not one of my ghost story films, it's like an actual film, and I got a really awesome role in it. I couldn't pass it up. So of course it changes or disrupts the flow of making these, of course. But as you can see, I am working on one right now, which is pretty fun. It's kind of epic. It's been a lot of work. And I'm just here enjoying, but I thought I would just kind of chronicle one of these first moments that I've ever had while experiencing Phoenix somewhat. I'm not really going through the town. This isn't a travel video. This isn't a travel channel. But I am experiencing what it's like to be a passenger in a driverless car for the first time. And I've been taking them all over the place. So there's a few trips that, pop up in this video. So, just thought I'd show you what we're all in for here. It's kind of interesting, and there's something very ghostly. It's no other way to call it but the ghost in the machine. And it has been an unforgettable trip already. I will never forget when I first used a Waymo, a driverless car. So, yeah, let's take a ride. Hey, I am in a driverless car right now from the airport. I'm taking a Waymo. It's amazing. I'm in the back seat, and there's no one at the wheel. How crazy is that? The future is now. This is... Well, from the future, I'm being driven by a ghost through the desert city of Phoenix, Arizona. And last night was my first ever Waymo ride, and today I'm doing it, and it's in the broad daylight, and it is just unreal, the experience. This car has done so many cunning instinctual pivots and left turns, like I heard that it does, and finds these shortcuts, and the way it drives and the way it slows down, speeds up, it's like there's no human error. It's very strange, but very exciting. I'm not trying to advertise Waymo. I'm just sharing my feelings as a human being living in this wild time. It's amazing. Okay guys, this is wild. I had to record my first ever ride in a Waymo, which for those of you who don't know is a automated taxi. There is no driver at the wheel, which I'll flip around and show it, but it's wild. It's just me. I feel like I'm literally being driven by a ghost. I'm staring at the wheel, and it's in this gorgeous Jaguar, which is just blowing my mind. And right when it pulled up and it had my initials on it, yeah, so many emotions. And I am so curious about us as human beings constantly experiencing a futuristic day, more futuristic than yesterday, and all the feelings that we have, because technology is just constantly showing us these wondrous, terrifying things, and yet it is to us to behold it, to experience it, to feel things. Man, it's so visionary. I can't believe I'm doing this in 2025. Anyway, just had to share. But look at this. That is one of the most fantastic things I think I've ever... It's ironic because I'm here to make a movie, and here I am in a movie. It's wonderful. Anyway, the future is now. You know what's really spooky right now? Right when I got in, it just hit me. It was like, this isn't happening. There's no way this is going to be this simple. I'm literally getting at the airport from a red eye, and just trying to find my way to my lodging. And I was just recommended, just do a Waymo. I got the app, and that was like, there's no way that I'm going to have to like do like 3 steps or something, 4, 5, 6 steps to get from the app to the car. Man, it just accessed my Google account, and then and now I'm in this amazing back seat. It's wild. I've got this chauffeur from the future. And I've heard it does left turns, right in the middle of like oncoming stopped traffic. Like it finds that way to get a left turn. I mean, that I'll believe that when I see it. I have seen it on reels and stuff, but yeah, what a strange time we live in. How utterly inspiring. This is freaky. I mean, they're also saying like just sing out if you want. We can't hear you. So here I am talking, but there is something spooky about just being myself here. There will be many other Waymo rides in the future, I'm sure. Or some other company, I don't know, the Tesla robo taxi or something. But there will never be one like this. And I'm sharing it with you. And some of you are watching going, oh yeah, I've done like 1 million of those rides. Anyway, I think it's absolutely mind-blowing. Okay, look at this. We're at a left turn. The 2 cars in front of me are both Waymos as well. These beautiful white Jaguars. And we're all at this light, and we're waiting to make a left turn. Man, it's so crazy. I feel both obsolete and very important. So this is crazy. We were stopped at a traffic light, a left turn light, for about, I think it was 6 minutes or 5 minutes. I don't think I've ever been at a light that long. And I looked behind me, there were 2 Waymos behind us. There were 2 Waymos ahead of us. And it's past midnight. I'm trying to get to my thing. Well, suddenly the hazard lights go on in my Waymo, and it just breaks away from the other Waymos because there's a more left. There's another lane on the left at this left turn, and it just goes to the front. The light, sure enough, turns green, and then it just gets in front of the other Waymos. I picked the right Waymo. Yeah, I just passed a place that said Saul Flower. Magic. Hey guys, I am racing through the Arizona desert city of Pheonix, and there's an old power plant there, and as you can see, there's no one at the wheel. I'm in this driverless car, this Waymo. This is, I think, my 4th ride ever, and I'm on a shoot, I'm making a film, and I thought, as I've had some of these thoughts that include taking a 2-hour red-eye flight here, not even sure if this Waymo thing was going to work to get me from the airport to my lodging, and then to just have it work out. And it was pretty wild, and it was a kind of a hair-raising moment. But now with my 4th ride, I feel like, I don't know, it's a strange emotional human thing where I'm like connecting to this, what I would call the ghost in the machine or something. That's not exactly the idea of the ghost in the machine, but it feels like that. I've gotten to a point where, I hail the Waymo, I see it, it rolls up, I hit unlock on my phone, the doors unlock, I go in, and then it says, "Hello, Saul." And I say, "Hey, Waymo." And I sit in, and I just kind of relax and just let this thing take me. And it's like suddenly my trust issues like evaporate, at least for now. And I think there's just something also very haunting about this strange landscape. You know, I'm going through a desert, I'm going through a city as well. And then I'm also shooting a film, and I haven't done one in a little while, so there's this feeling of homecoming, but it's also really important to note that it is not a film in LA or New York, where you just feel the whole pressure in it. And wow, look at that. These people in front of me just started backing up, and then my Waymo just started backing up. It's weird. Like I said, I sense little human error. Well, I sense no human error because it's not human. It's pretty crazy, but yeah, there's something about this heat. I mean, that's something I also wanted to talk about, because I was working on lines. I was in the AC, and I was there for hours working on my lines, and then I just thought, wait, I need to step outside. And it was 109. I mean, that Phoenix desert heat. And I stepped outside and I started trying the lines again. And it was just wonderful. I mean, it was the way the heat just seemed to wrap around me. Like, I just felt it all over my skin, like really felt the heat. And I tried saying the lines, and it was just, it was like effortless, this cadence of this character. He's like an Arizona police detective, you know? And I was, oh, that's where he is. I mean, there's this part of me just relaxed into him. I wasn't like in my head, you know? There's this part of like, oh, he doesn't give a shit type of thing that you know, I think I was searching for, but man, you can't argue with it when you step out of the AC into that heat. And then when I was hailing this car and I was looking around, and you know, I was coming out of a school where we were filming. There were some old apartments on the other side, and there was like, I guess you could call it a park. I have very different ideas of parks coming from Northern California and New York City and Los Angeles. I mean, they're very lush, and they're almost meant to make you feel as far from the city as possible when you step in the park. At least that's their goal. And this one was just, you know, flat, spread out, maybe, I don't know, like an eighth of a mile squared, you know? And I mean, you just felt desert everywhere. And I was just looking around at that, and then I thought, let me take that building out. Let me take that building out. Let me take this park out. Let me take this school out. I'll just put what looks like an old, dilapidated church right there. Now imagine that is the only thing in this desert that you can see, you know? And then I thought, now I'm on a horse, and all I've got is like a cowboy hat, and I've got, you know, like a canteen or something. And I'm in this Arizona desert, and it is scorching, and there's no place to go. And I was like, that's a cowboy. And there's this part of me for years that's been getting more and more, I think, religious about Americana. I just absolutely love Americana. There's a mythos to it. It's enshrouded in that glamour of some impossible hardship. And today I was just, I don't know, just reminding myself about that hardship that everyone used to have and how easy I've got it. And here I am in a driverless car. Which, when you think about it, a cowboy with a horse that knows its way, that was kind of the first driverless car, I guess. Not that in any way am I saying I'm like that. not at all. I'm not saying that. But I'm just, there's kind of like a full circle feeling that they did have things figured out in ways we never give them credit for. Never. These people, they think cowboys are the problem. They think men are the problem. But they'll go, oh, the horse, that poor horse. But yeah, I guess I'm just feeling the ghosts of the past of this place. The more that I see how ironically futuristic it is becoming. In some ways, I mean, in this car alone, I mean, it's more futuristic than New York City. I mean, I was talking to friends who I guess New York doesn't have Waymo yet or something. So maybe they're testing it out here, but I think what's kind of wonderful about this is that I just feel like there's this part that they can't develop away from. I feel the spirits of the Old West in here. I mean, it isn't too hard to just pretend these buildings aren't there, and I just feel like I get a sense of this dry desert land. It's pretty wild. Except now there's traffic lights and buildings throughout the decades. I can see the different architectures, and there's just something so run down and rugged and I don't know, very, very dreamlike. Of course, these buildings aren't really the prettiest, but this is kind of outside of where I am staying. Something really, really special about the energy of this place. Another thing that kind of helps this dreamscape feeling here is this just dreamy, loungy music that's always playing in this car when I get in. I get in it in the morning and it just calms me right down. I get in it in the evening after the day, and it just, relaxes me. There's just something really brilliant about the design of the atmosphere. And I'll tell you one thing about Ghost in the Gaslight. I love atmosphere. I love playing with atmosphere. I respect it. I respect anyone who really works on that. And this is just, it's exquisite. And it's wild talking to people who are based here, and they're telling me what it's like growing up here, or the opportunity here, and how some of them they almost looked into leaving certain places, but other places don't have the opportunities that Pheonix has, which is kind of cool. And then I ask them about Waymo, and they're like, no, I'm too scared. So I've got one up on you guys. Proud about that, but I'm pretty excited for all of these Pheonix residents. Just great people. Just looks like a lot of cool things in your future. Oh, I wonder if that's the world headquarters of Honeywell there. Anyway, it's always great to just be able to travel and encounter places and people. I'd like to maybe do some sightseeing, but I don't know. I have to work on lines. I've got a bit of scenes, but who knows? Maybe I've got some days where I can. We'll see. There's another irony. When I'm going to shoot this film, I'm gonna have a few driving scenes, which doesn't always happen. I've driven for quite a few movies before, but it doesn't always happen. But this one, I'll definitely have some driving scenes where I'm radioing and talking on the phone, and full-on scenes. It's going to be driving, and I'm going to look back at this movie and I'm going to say, You know what? And I never drove to set. I was driven by a driverless car, always. So that I could go to set and film a character who is driving a car. Yeah, that occurred to me today. Kind of I love how these things all converge, you know? Greetings again. We're in beautiful Tempe here, and that amazing river behind me, just glistening. But it just occurred to me because I am in this, once again, big surprise, driverless, and this is a very special moment. I recorded my first time in a driverless car, a driverless cab, a robo cab, whatever it will be known as, But before everyone else, it was Waymo. And this reminds me of a lot of the times where I, or you, whoever's watching this, kind of got in the beginning, the ground floor of something happening. And I just realized this is the good old days. Because I have talked to so many people here about this, like sharing this. It's just crazy. I've never encountered this. I grew up before there was internet, before internet part 2, which was social media. I grew up before all of that, and now I'm in a driverless car. So many can relate to how stupendous this might be. But there's going to be a point where these are everywhere. And yesterday, my friends and I were going to take a Waymo from the film shoot back to our place, our Airbnb. And it was a 30-minute wait. And so we decided to do an Uber, which was very different after all that Waymo. It was kind of awkward, which is kind of funny, kind of sad, but I just realized that I had about, I think it was a good 7 months when I lived in Los Angeles where I made ends meet driving a Lyft. And as we all know, there's peak hours, the cars take longer to get there, they're more expensive. And right now, Waymo wants to get people to trust being driven to a destination in a big hunk of metal with steel and glass, with a ton or whatever. And so the rates they're reasonable. I'm going to the grocery store from the place I'm staying at. It's about, I think, a 12 or 13 minute drive, and it's cost me roughly $7. And there's just going to be a point where this is all much more expensive, where it's much more in demand. And I'm going to look back at this and go, God, that was perfect. Because eventually they figure out how to charge for everything. There's going to be refreshments in here, and they're going to be sky-high prices. These Waymos right now are just these beautiful white Jaguars. But they're going to be covered with logos and ads. This is just a really special thing right now. It is. I know it's scary. I know it's AI. I know it's replacing a driver, all these things. But I'm living in the moment of utopia, because law of diminishing returns, everything, just improves to where it just kind of gets worse in some way. So this is just a beautiful time, and I'm enjoying it, and I just had to share that observation. This has been just quite a trip, a wonderful shoot to do, wonderful people, and then I'm doing this amazing like moment of technology, kind of having a little Jetsons moment, I guess. Anyway, I'm always thinking of you guys even when I'm out here, so I just felt like I wanted to include you in this strange trip I'm having. And of course, you're always welcome to see the art at ghostinthegaslight.com. You can check out my Substack, link is in the description. And maybe join my email list, the Inbox of Curiosities, link is also there. And feel free to check out my art. You can collect my originals and prints and even merch. Again, that's ghostinthegaslight.com. All right, I will see you on the next one. And if you enjoyed this one, maybe you'll enjoy this one.